Ontario. It's big and it never stops moving. From the daily work commute to a morning jog, an important shipment, or a flight overseas, we are constantly in motion. We're always going somewhere, and no matter where we're headed, we're likely going to get there on asphalt. Our roadways, runways, pathways, and driveways are what connect us to the rest of this beautiful province. We rely on asphalt every day, without a second thought. Its importance cannot be overstated. It drives us forward. Since 1974, the Ontario Hot Mix Producers Association has worked to make our roads the safest, most durable, environmentally friendly, and cost-effective roads in the world. To continue moving forward, we have to do so in a sustainable and smart way. How will we do that? We'll jump into that shortly, but first, to get where we're going, we have to know how we got here. So, let's take a moment and rewind. Nope, keep going. Not yet. Right there, perfect. We're now millions of years in the past. Why? It's where our asphalt roads began. Well, sort of. The materials we use for our roadways are made from millions of years of sediment, buried biomaterials that, when harvested and processed, give us a reliable and safe surface to move on. It's called asphalt. People have been using asphalt for a very long time, longer than you might expect. Crude asphalt roads can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamia, as well as ancient Rome. In fact, the word asphalt derives from the ancient Greek word asphaltos, meaning secure. In the Middle Ages, asphalt was a reliable, inexpensive choice for sealing and repairing the hulls of ships. Now, fast forward into the early 20th century, and with the invention of the car came the necessity for a smoother, more durable surface for those cars to move on, and asphalt was the obvious choice. And so, for the past century, asphalt producers in Ontario have continued to refine their product, moving with and often driving technology forward in order to create a better, more sustainable asphalt. This is Nabil Kamel. He's the National Certification Program Manager for the Canadian Council of Independent Laboratories. Nabil is also a patent holder for road surfacing technology we still use today. According to Nabil, making our roads safer and more durable has required equal parts creativity, innovation, and problem solving, especially in regard to skid resistance.
Yeah, MTO work to improve skid resistance started back in the 60s. When they allowed the use of studded tires on our highway.
The problem with studded tires was that after a while, the studs began to polish the asphalt. Hey Nabil, what problem did that create for asphalt producers?
When the pavement is dry, there are no problems, but when it rains and the water is on the surface, then the friction characteristics decline to a degree that it was recognized it's unsafe.
They developed techniques to retexture the pavement, including transverse and longitudinal grooving of the pavement surface. This would allow water to drain away and give cars more grip on the road. Problem solved. But
the problem with those were that, particularly with the transverse grooving, that the pavement was very noisy.
There's a hidden enemy all drivers face: noise. From the radio to your kids, pets, and even the weather. Driving can be noisy. It doesn't help if the surface that you're driving on is a loud one. Don't think road noise makes much of a difference? Let's get rid of all the other distracting sounds for a moment. Hear that undertone of noise hiding under all the others? This is a problem on concrete roads and one that isn't being dealt with effectively. But asphalt producers continue to develop the technology to make asphalt surfaces quieter and quieter and quieter. Unfortunately, there's not much they can do about all the other noise. Asphalt producers during the 70s formulated new mixes and surface texture techniques that would allow water to drain while cutting down on the noise created by the grooved method. But there's always another challenge. and asphalt producers once again rose to the occasion.
In the 80s, another problem started. We got over the skid resistance, but then due to tremendous increase in traffic volumes, the pavement surfaces that it used to provide 20 years, 25 years of good serviceability, it was noticed that they rot under the traffic.
And because of this rutting, surfaces would have to be repaired or replaced within only 2 or 3 years, when they should have lasted more than 20 years. This was a problem throughout all North America in the 80s. It was unacceptable and unsustainable. Development shifted in Ontario to overcome this new challenge.
The approach we took was to have a test pit constructed, and we built up the pavement right from the subgrade up and tested the pavement with full loads. That's the maximum load allowed in our highway, 18 kips axle load, and we tested repeatedly with thousands and millions of passes and observe what happened.
Then they changed the mixes and tested the pavement again, tweaking and developing the mixes for optimal performance. The asphalt industry pushed forward and created a better product for our roads. But it wasn't done without help, and it still isn't. Meet Susan Tai. She's the director of the Center for Pavement and Transportation Technology at the University of Waterloo, an integral research facility that is helping to develop cutting-edge technology in Ontario and throughout Canada.
We've been involved in several research projects and also what I would say very applied projects in partnership with OHMPA. So we've been involved in the development of the perpetual pavement design technologies and looking at how life cycle cost is impacted by these types of designs. A lot of our research projects, the results of those projects actually go into the Ontario provincial standards and specifications. A lot of cities and municipalities have worked with us to take some of those research findings and apply them to what they are actually doing today.
Let's check out one example of how the research has benefited one of Ontario's fastest growing cities.
So the Red Hill Valley Parkway and the Lincoln Alexander Parkway were two major projects for the city of Hamilton. Starting back in '91, we started construction on them.
This is Gary Moore. He is the Director of Public Works for the City of Hamilton, and he was key to the development and construction of the Red Hill Valley and Lincoln Alexander Parkways. These projects were done the right way. An experienced planning team was assembled long before construction began. They researched to make key decisions, which took full advantage of new techniques developed at the Center for Pavement and Transportation Technology.
Red Hill is a perpetual pavement. It's unique in that it comes down over the escarpment. There's a lot of big cuts and a lot of big fills. So we assessed the various different pavement types and came up with that the flexible pavement would be the best pavement use.
It was estimated that between 80,000 and 90,000 vehicles would travel along the Red Hill Valley Parkway each day. So it was crucial to use paving materials that would be strong and durable, yet would allow for simple and fast repairs when necessary.
The perpetual pavement gave us that advantage to be able to do the resurfacings. We could do those at night with very little impact on traffic to keep it serviced over a long period of time. We did use the super paved mixes on it, which gave us a lot of choice on the various layers coming all the way up through, and we ultimately chose to use the stone mastic asphalt on the top layer. That technology was very helpful of us for the skid resistance and the noise and its ability to channel away the water and reduce the spray.
It's been 9 years since the parkways have opened. And how has the asphalt worked out, Gary?
It's working out very well.
And it's worked out that well thanks to the hard work of researchers and innovators who received the funding they needed to make Ontario's roadways some of the safest, most durable, and cost-effective in the world. Not to mention, environmentally friendly. Yes, you heard that correctly, environmentally friendly, thanks to the use of recycled asphalt pavement, or RAP. Old roads are scraped up and recycled back into new mixes, meaning that much less new material is needed.
The use of recycled asphalt pavement is a really important aspect, not only in terms of sustainability, but it actually, if it's engineered properly, provides a better product in the end. So because you're taking a very strong material and inputting it back into the hot mix, it actually provides a very durable mix.
In fact, recycled asphalt accounts for, by tonnage, the most recycled material worldwide.
Yes, that's right. And most people don't realize how environmentally friendly we are by doing that. People assume it's paper or aluminum, but it's actually recycled asphalt pavement.
With so many accomplishments in the past, what do asphalt producers look forward to? What emerging technologies are most promising? Let's ask Pamela Marks, head of the bituminous section at the Ontario Ministry of Transportation.
MTO first used warm mix on a contract in 2008. It's a great tool to have in the contractor's toolbox and ours as well. There are many different benefits associated with warm mix. You get better longitudinal joints, there's the ability for longer hauls, reduced production temperatures, improved compaction, lower emissions at the plant, lower emissions or fumes that the workers are exposed to in the field. And there's a potential for paving at lower temperatures and still getting your compaction. We're really excited about warm mix.
Warm mix asphalt has an impressive list of benefits. Advancement in asphalt technology positively impact every city in Ontario in highly visible, immediate ways. Smooth, durable roads make all of our workdays easier. So we need, you know what? Here's how Gary Moore, a guy who knows the numbers, puts it.
In Hamilton, we have around 6,500 lane kilometers of road with a replacement value of somewhere in excess of $4.5 to $5 billion. If we wanted to get to a road once every 25 years, which is stretching it, we need to spend about 4% of that value a year. So you're looking at somewhere between $160 and $200 million a year in improvements and repairs and replacement. Our current budget is around $40 million, which means we get to every road once every 100 years. So we need to spend every dollar wisely. We've taken all the steps we can take in terms of the asset management plan. We know what we need to do. We know when we want to do it. We know how much it's going to cost. Now we need the sustainable funding from the provincial and/or federal governments.
So folks, that about does it. We've traveled back in time to see where asphalt comes from, how it's been used throughout human history, and how we've been able to modify and improve our asphalt for modern-day use. Asphalt producers working together with OHMPA have an eye on the future. Let's make our roads the safest, most durable, environmentally friendly, and cost-effective roads in the world. Let's continue to make Ontario a global leader, driving us all into a better future.